Well, your wallet never leaves your pocket, but somehow your money does. You check your banking app while standing in line for coffee. Everything looked normal 10 minutes ago. Now there is a charge you do not recognize. Then another one appears. Then another. Your debit card is still inside your pocket. Nobody touched it. Nobody stole your wallet. But your money is disappearing in real time. This is not science fiction anymore. It is called phantom tapping, and criminals across the world are quietly turning crowded public spaces into invisible hunting grounds. They no longer need to pick your pocket. They no longer need hidden cameras or fake ATMs. All they need is a wireless signal and a few seconds near you. Imagine standing inside a packed subway during rush hour. People push against each other while the train shakes violently through the tunnel. You barely notice the man beside you bumping your shoulder. But hidden inside his messenger bag is a modified payment terminal already programmed to silently charge your card. The amount is carefully selected below the security limit, so your bank will not ask for a PIN or signature. By the next station stop, your money is already gone. And the terrifying part is this. The transaction appears completely legitimate to your bank. Now the scam evolves. You sit at an airport terminal waiting for your flight. Your phone battery is dying. You notice a sleek wireless charging pad built directly into the public table. It looks modern, safe, convenient. You place your phone down for free charging without thinking twice. But underneath that charging pad is a hidden NFC reader scanning your digital wallet while power flows into your phone. The criminal does not even need to touch your device. If your wallet settings are vulnerable, phantom payments begin instantly while you scroll social media completely unaware. Then comes the smartwatch trap. You finish a workout and stop for a drink. You activate your smartwatch payment feature while standing in line. The second your watch broadcasts its payment signal, a scammer standing behind you intercepts the connection using a hidden reader concealed inside a gym towel. Your watch vibrates normally. You assume the payment failed and try again. In reality, you already paid the criminal first. This is why phantom tapping is spreading so fast. The scams feel invisible because they happen during completely normal moments of everyday life. But the next scam is even more dangerous because it weaponizes human kindness itself. The most dangerous scammers are no longer hiding in dark rooms filled with computer screens. They are standing directly in front of you, smiling, talking calmly, and manipulating your emotions while your bank account quietly bleeds dry. Imagine walking through a crowded downtown street during lunch hour. A cheerful person wearing an official-looking charity badge approaches you holding a clipboard and a mobile payment terminal. They claim they are collecting donations for sick children or disaster victims. The amount is tiny, just $2. It feels harmless. You tap your debit card against the machine, hear the confirmation beep, and continue walking feeling like you helped someone in need. But you never donated to a real charity. The terminal was designed to capture the payment token connected to your card. Days later, small recurring charges begin appearing on your statement under vague company names you barely notice. $20 here, $15 there. The scammers intentionally keep the charges small because they know most victims never check their statements carefully enough to catch the fraud immediately. And then the attacks become even more personal. Your phone suddenly rings late at night. The caller ID displays the official name of your bank. The voice on the line sounds professional, calm, and urgent. They warn you that foreign hackers are actively trying to steal your money. Your heart starts racing immediately. The fake representative instructs you to download a security application from the App Store to secure your account before it is too late. Everything feels real. The logo looks authentic. The instructions sound convincing. They guide you step by step, telling you to tap your physical debit card against your own phone so the app can verify your identity. But the moment your card touches the phone, the malicious software secretly copies your payment information and transmits it directly to the scammer in real time. By morning, thousands of dollars are gone. But the psychological manipulation does not stop there. Some victims are even convinced to walk into an ATM and deposit their own cash directly into a criminal's account. Scammers pretend to be fraud investigators and create fake emergency situations designed to overwhelm your thinking. Fear becomes their weapon. Panic becomes their password. Meanwhile, another type of criminal walks silently through concerts, festivals, and crowded public events carrying small hidden radio frequency scanners. They never touch you. They never speak to you. They simply move through crowds collecting wireless payment data from the pockets of strangers. The terrifying reality is this. Modern scams no longer depend on force. They depend on trust, distraction, fear, and speed. But the next phase of phantom tapping becomes even more terrifying, because now the malware lives inside your own phone. The scariest part about phantom tapping is not the criminals standing near you in public. It is the possibility that your own smartphone has already become part of the attack without you realizing it. Everything starts with a simple download. You are scrolling through social media or browsing an online forum when you see an advertisement for a powerful new finance app. It promises cashback rewards, spending analytics, and advanced budgeting tools. The design looks professional. The reviews seem real. The app claims it can help you save money every month. The only unusual detail is that it is not available in the official App Store. Most people ignore that warning sign. You install the app manually and grant the permissions it requests. At first, everything appears normal. The graphs work. The spending tracker updates correctly. The app behaves exactly like legitimate financial software. But hidden underneath the polished interface is malicious code operating silently in the background every second your phone remains powered on. The malware constantly monitors your phone's near-field communication system. Every time you tap your phone to pay at a grocery store, gas station, or restaurant, the hidden software intercepts the encrypted payment handshake. It secretly copies the transaction token and forwards the information to servers controlled by organized cybercriminals. Weeks later, unauthorized purchases begin appearing across multiple websites and online stores. The victim has no idea the infection started with a single harmless-looking app download. But the attacks become even more sophisticated. Cybercriminal groups now study public research papers published by security experts. Whenever researchers discover weaknesses inside contactless payment systems, criminals weaponize the same open-source code for real-world theft. They hide these exploits inside compromised charging stations and payment terminals placed in crowded public areas. When victims tap their cards against these infected machines, the payment system quietly generates multiple authorization tokens instead of one. One token processes the real transaction. The remaining tokens are harvested for future ghost purchases. To the bank, everything appears mathematically legitimate. And then comes one of the most deceptive scams of all. You return an expensive jacket to a retail store and approach customer service expecting a refund. The employee asks you to tap your card against the terminal to process the return. You comply without hesitation. But seconds before you tapped your card, the employee secretly switched the machine from refund mode back into purchase mode. Instead of receiving money, you authorized another charge. By the time you discover the fraud days later, the employee is gone and the transaction history appears valid inside the banking system. The terrifying truth is this: phantom tapping no longer depends on a single hacker. It now combines malware, social engineering, compromised employees, and hidden software working together at the same time. And the final scams are the most terrifying of all, because by the time you notice them, your account is already destroyed. Most people believe fraud begins with a massive suspicious charge. But the most advanced phantom tapping operations actually begin with something almost invisible: a single dollar. You open your banking app and notice a tiny charge labeled network processing fee or digital access verification. The amount is so small you barely react. Maybe it is a forgotten subscription. Maybe it is a harmless service fee. You ignore it and continue with your day. That tiny transaction was not designed to steal money. It was designed to test whether your card is alive. Organized cybercrime syndicates run automated systems that process thousands of microscopic ghost payments every hour. Their software checks which debit cards remain active, which accounts contain available funds, and which victims fail to notice suspicious activity. Once your card successfully passes the test, your financial profile is upgraded and sold to larger criminal networks preparing for major withdrawals and high-value purchases. And this is where the scams become almost impossible to detect. Every contactless transaction contains hidden metadata describing how the payment occurred. Banks rely on this information to identify fraud patterns. If someone suddenly uses your card differently than normal, the system usually raises an alert. But highly sophisticated scammers now alter this metadata before the payment request reaches the bank. A stolen wireless payment signal can be disguised as a secure chip insertion. A fraudulent tap can appear identical to a legitimate in-store purchase. From the bank's perspective, everything looks perfectly normal. Victims often lose thousands of dollars while fraud departments insist the transactions were fully authenticated. But the final evolution of phantom tapping feels almost unreal. Imagine walking through a busy shopping mall in New York while your debit card rests safely inside your pocket. A criminal passes near you carrying a concealed wireless reader hidden inside a backpack. In seconds, your card's contactless signal is captured and transmitted across the internet to another scammer standing inside a luxury store in London. That second, criminal holds a modified device against a payment terminal. Your bank receives the live signal. The cryptographic handshake matches perfectly. The purchase is approved instantly. At that exact moment, a $5,000 designer handbag is purchased overseas while your physical card never leaves your pocket in America. This is no longer ordinary theft. It is industrial-scale financial warfare powered by invisible wireless technology. And that is why protecting yourself now requires more than basic caution. You must disable unnecessary contactless features, use RFID blocking wallets, activate instant banking alerts, and monitor every transaction aggressively. Because in the era of phantom tapping, your debit card is no longer just plastic. It is a wireless doorway directly connected to your life savings.